Hello, welcome. My name is Brandon Rhodes, and I'm going to be very, very honest for the next few minutes and very vulnerable. So, this is 2022, a year in review. What this is, I feel like it's just a journal. I've got some stuff down I want to talk about, break things down, and just talk about things that I've been through, struggled with, and failures that I had. And this is not me showing off or anything. This is me hoping to show you what not to do, right? Or just, maybe you could get inspired by this, whatever, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start. So, to start out the year 2022, I was in New Mexico. I had been in New Mexico since the December of 2021. Now you're wondering, why were you in New Mexico? One, I was working at a ski resort in New Mexico. A lot of people don't know that it snows there, but it snows. I can verify that it snows a lot in New Mexico. So that was really cool to do. I found it on Instagram, found it through a place called, I don't remember, something urban. I don't know. I'll drop it though. Why I went to New Mexico, there are a few different reasons. All right. I've been in North Augusta / Aiken for 21 years of my life. And it's not bad. Nothing's wrong with this place. I really like this place. And over the past few months, I've actually fallen in love with it and realized how great of a place it is. But I just kind of wanted to expand my horizons, right? And also, I'm a big fan of traveling, big fan of new experiences, and just wanted to get uncomfortable, From my house to New Mexico, it's about a little bit more than 1,500 miles, 24 plus hours, and I thought, hey, it was a perfect chance to get out of here and go and live my life a little bit. And at the time, I wasn't in school. I'm still not in school, but I wasn't in school. I didn't have anything holding me down, right? And that's one of the reasons why I actually went. At the time, I was going through a very, very bad breakup. And it was bad in the fact that it ended on good terms. I feel like ending a relationship on good terms is worse than getting cheated on or anything, because nothing bad happened. Nothing like... The relationship was not toxic. No one cheated on anybody. No one did anything detrimental to each other. No one hurt each other. It wasn't working, People go through things, and that's one of the reasons why, as to why we broke up. So that really sucked, and I'm still kind of dealing with that now. I really thought that person was the person I was going to be with for the rest of my life, but stuff happens, But yeah, currently still somewhat going through that, right? I am becoming a better person. I'm trying to become a high-value person, not necessarily for that person, but just for me. So that's one of the main reasons I went to New Mexico. And for the first month there, the first December, was probably one of the worst months of my entire life. I wasn't, nothing bad was happening outside of my mind. Everything was happening inside my brain, which is sometimes hard to go through, especially when you're by yourself a lot. And that's the reason as to why I was so I wouldn't say depressed, because I don't like to use the word depressed, right? That word gets thrown around too much. But I was really lonely. I was really sad, because for the first month there, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody there. I hadn't really made any friends. None of my friends wanted to go out there with me. So for the first month, being 1,500 miles away from where you've always been, where you've grown up, it's kind of hard. Because I feel like I'm a little more shy, more introverted than a lot of people. A lot of people don't know that, but I am. But I'm working on that as well. But the first month was not good. I was just alone. I was alone for Christmas, which is a big deal for me. on Christmas Eve, which is, those two are really big deals for me. Very family oriented. So to be away in such a big time is not fun. But I did get better, I promise. It probably just sounds like I'm crapping on myself, which I might be. I don't know. But it did get better around the beginning to end, the end of December, the beginning of January. I started making friends out there, and hopefully I have those friends for the rest of my life, because they're just really amazing people. And really, when everyone out there is just amazing. They really made my trip worth it for 3.5 months. I'm going to go ahead and name drop, excuse me, someone who's pretty important. Natasha, if you're listening to this, I love you a lot. I appreciate you a lot. You're probably one of the best friends I've ever had, and I've really only known you for a little bit. So yeah, but once I started becoming friends with people, once I started talking to more people and like putting myself out there more, it got better. You know, from January to end of March, which is when I left a little bit early. It was probably the most fun I've had in my entire life. I'm trying to get centered here. So, and snowboarding is a lot of fun. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that. So that was a lot of fun, right? And I've been skateboarding since I was in elementary school, and I still suck, but snowboarding was a lot of fun. Just like going 40 miles an hour down a mountain and then not realizing you could have died is an amazing feeling, I will say. But in and out New Mexico was such a fun time. I wish I could go back there. I really do. I do plan on going back there, so definitely be looking out for that episode. Hopefully I can get Natasha on the podcast, and I'll see what they think. And just the friend group that we had, and my roommate as well, was such a good friend group. They were really cool people. And out of everybody there, this is not like a hit or anything. Out of everybody there, all the people that I've met, there was only one person there that was like me. 100% sober, didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't vape. And so that was pretty cool. Tyler, if you're watching this, pretty cool guy, not gonna lie. But as I did mention, I did leave New Mexico a little early. Like I said, I'm very family oriented, so I just kind of miss my family, you know. And I was kind of romanticizing like coming back, and you know, everybody like opening me with open arms, which is what my family did. But it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun, but for the only month I was living at the house when I got back, it was all right. My family has been kind of going through stuff, which I've kind of been in the middle in, but we're still kicking. Family, it looks like it's turning around, which is good. And before I had moved out to New Mexico, I had never lived on my own. Like, I'd never done my own laundry, never done my own dishes, all that kind of stuff. So to move out there and to have to do all this stuff was kind of a struggle at first, but I realized how easy that stuff is. Because another thing I do is I like to make things very difficult in my brain before I start them, thinking that they're going to be like this so hardcore thing and very impossible. Not true. So I moved out. That was really cool. When I was in New Mexico, that was one of my main goals, is to move out and act like I didn't know anybody. So to be able to do that and still be doing that, I think it's a win for me. I'm going to put that down as a one win. And this whole time, I felt like, I don't even know. Like I was just kind of going through life. Really, I wasn't doing anything productive. The first couple months I got back home, I didn't even have a job. Not because I'm lazy, just because I was actually doing real estate school, and I had saved not a bunch, but I had saved some money while out in New Mexico, and I also got my tax returns. So I was living off of that for a little bit, but money does run up not very quickly, but for me at that time, it was pretty quick. So while I was doing the real estate stuff, I wanted to do real estate because I know that in real estate, you can have a lot of money. I did all the courses. It was like $300, paid all that, finished it. I did not do the final exam on, like, at the school. It was all online. I didn't do the final exam online, right? Don't know why. So if I would have done that, I would have have the opportunity to do the real estate license test. I didn't do either of those. I even had, I straight up like had a place to go once I passed both of those. That didn't work out. I don't really see myself as a real estate agent. I just feel like I just don't fit the part. I'm not, business is good today. That type of, I'm like, as you can see what I'm wearing, I would not fit in at all, which is good, but not something that I want to do. So I got a job at a pizza place that I had previously worked at a few times since 2017. Shout out to them. They're really cool. My manager there currently, and then really, really cool. She's really helped me a lot. I do appreciate all of that. So then I got into that a little bit, but right before I had got back into Your Pie, the whole X thing came back. I made a mistake. I slipped up. I was caught lacking, as the kids say these days. And I really hurt myself bad, and I let that same person hurt me again, which I'm currently doing to myself. But it's all good, It's like comes in waves, just very big tsunami waves that suck, right? And initially after the breakup, obviously I was missing this person a lot, and I thought that I could take me missing her away with hooking up with a lot of women. And I'm not saying like 20 people, but I was hooking up with people for a few weeks, and I do highly regret that. I know I can't take it back, and that's fine, but just hookup culture is not like a good thing. I'm someone's husband, I'm someone's dad. I don't have to explain why my body count is so high. I feel like body counts are important. It shows how loyal you can be to one person, and I might be a sex addict. I don't think I am, but I do love sex, but I hate loveless sex, and that's what all of that was. I'm choking up here, but a lot of it was just loveless sex, and it goes back to the point of me just being lonely and thinking that having sex with random people will make me not lonely anymore. Didn't work. I think it made it worse, obviously. So if you're thinking about like hoeing around, hooking up with a bunch of different people, it's not worth it. And even if you have friends that do that and think it's cool, it's not cool. They just are dirty. Thankfully, though, I've never gotten an STD from any of that. Shout out to my immune system, very strong. Eating rocks as a baby really helped. But yeah, it's not a cool lifestyle. And I'm not saying that I can't get any. I don't really care if I can or can't, because I know that there's someone out there for me. And just sex with someone that you love and someone that you are in love with, 10 times better than having sex with anybody on this planet. I was there. I've went through those experiences, and in-love sex is better than loveless sex. I'll just say that. See, hookup culture, not the move. Maybe might have been fun in the meantime, but looking back, not cool. But hey, I would rather do things and regret them than not do things and regret the idea of not doing it, right? So after that, my roommate and I, if you know him, you probably do if you're listening to this, we started this podcast. It's called the Sofa Sessions Podcast, and at first it was a lot of fun. We were just kind of just being not idiots, but we were just an open bottle, right? We didn't care. I didn't care what I said. I said really anything I wanted to, because who's going to cancel us? And I still feel very confident about that today. I'm not going to say, what Kanye West said or any of that stuff. And I don't think Kanye West is a bad person. Maybe that might get me canceled. Who cares, though? Only 5 people are going to listen to this. But we started a podcast. It was fun. I put in 99% of the work, I'll be honest. All the stuff that was created by me. I made the promos. I made the thumbnails. I made everything. Did all the audio, did the editing, all that stuff. And I'm not wanting a pat on the back. I'm just saying that's what I was doing, and that's important for later. And so we would come up with topics and just talk about random stuff. It's completely different now than what it was. So whenever I tell people about the podcast, I tell them that the first 20 are not good. I don't feel like. Yes, they're fully who we are, but there's no structure to it. We just talk about BS. And for some people, that's fine. And for some people, it's not. And I explain that to people. But after 20 is when it started getting better, because I was doing everything, and I was in fully of them. And I was in all of them, and it was just me. So I had 100% control of the podcast and everything that was being created by it, which I kind of did before, but it was just me now. I was able to interview really cool people. Hopefully I continue to do that. That's another thing of mine that I plan on doing. And for the first few weeks of doing it, I could kind of tell like this is something that I could work on to expand my creative brain, right? And I knew it could be something bigger than just 2 people talking about random stuff in their apartment living room. So that's when I kind of started getting serious about it, and I wanted to take it a step further. And at that time, the other person on the podcast, they just weren't putting in any work, and that's rather annoying because it's supposed to be a team group effort. So things happened. We kind of had a falling out. We're good now. But I wanted to get serious about it. He kind of didn't. So I didn't kick him out, really. He just kind of left. And yeah, that's where that is now. And I think, honestly, it's gotten better in all aspects, better topics, quality. The structure of it is better. I'm continuingly, is that a word? Continuingly trying to get it better every podcast or every episode. I want to continue to invite interesting people on, because I think that's a good thing, to invite people on to share their story, kind of what they do, whether it be job-wise, life-wise, any of that stuff. During all of that, I did get into another relationship, whether I was ready for it or not. And it really sucks because I did really love and care about this person. And she 100% supported me with everything I did. All the stuff that I went through with Sean, all the stuff I went through with my family, kind of. She was there, which is a good thing. And during that time, I was very comfortable, and I wasn't doing anything to further my career in what I am doing now. I was just always with this person, and that's not a bad thing at all. But it really sucks to be with someone and then you don't want to be with them because you know that you can be better by yourself. And that does seem selfish, and it is, but it's selfishness in a good way, because I'm only living once, so I think it is okay for me to be selfish when it comes to like my future, my feelings, and all that kind of stuff. And you as well. I think that you should be selfish with your feelings and your future. And that's kind of why I understand why that girl in 2021 did. She had to put herself first, which is good. Apparently she's doing better now. It's good. But it really did suck. I really liked everything about her. Once again, things ended on good terms. Nothing bad happened. I really loved her family. Really loved being around her and her family. It was a good time. But I I just know that's not what I needed right now, and I needed to be by myself, because before then, I haven't been single. Well, since high school, I have not been single for an entire year. And that was very shocking to me, because that's been like, let me see, about 8 years almost that I've been continuously in relationships. So I wanted to step out of my comfort zone and see what I could do fully by myself. And a lot of people didn't understand that. A lot of people tried to understand it, but they just couldn't. And that's not bad. I mean, that's just on them. But, sorry, I had a little itch. But ultimately, it was the best decision that I've probably ever made. Since then, all the stuff for the podcast has gotten better. Editing skills, content creations, I feel like I've gotten better at. I have a TikTok on the side that I've been working on, and it's been doing pretty good. Not crazy numbers, but it's been rising up. I think I've gotten like 100 followers less than a week, which is good. And I've just been able to fully and completely work and invest on myself, which is something that I have not done ever. Because I started, really what kind of changed everything for me was that breakup. And then after that, I still feel like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing what I said I wanted to do. So then I invited Trenton Gambrell on, and just being around him really helped me out. I started 75 hard again, currently doing that. I think I'm on day 75. So I just have 30 days left, but it's not something it's not something I'm just going to go through and not do. I'm going to continue to do that. But the podcast episode with Trenton Gambrell really changed my perspective on things, and that's when I started getting into this self-help thing, this path of most resistance. And since then, everything's been gravy. I've been working out a lot, and I don't know if anyone can tell or if you care, but I saw a video of me at the beginning of October, and it looked like my face was swollen. Like, it looked very fat. And it wasn't. Like, I was only 190 pounds, but now I'm like 180 and cut and whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But I was like bigger then, but less muscular. But like, you can tell in my face from then. So, yeah. Shout out to Trenton. Thank you if you're listening to this. I really appreciate it. And I've also just gotten into different things as well, as like masculinity in men, why men are becoming weaker and weaker in today's society. And we did talk about that a little bit on the podcast. And it's only up from here. You know, I had a few months that were hard on me that I did myself, and now I am ending the year off in full force, maybe. So what I want to do from now on, and this is outside the podcast, but I'm going to fully 100% invest in myself, because no one else is going to invest in me. No one's going to come up to me like, hey, I'll give you $2 million if you do this. Like, no one's going to do that. And if they do, it's only because I have already invested in myself for a long period of time. So just investing in myself and counting on myself is probably the most important thing right now. And you as well. Like, no one's going to be there to save you. No one's going to come pick you up off the ground. No one's going to give you money for free. No one's going to work out for you. None of that stuff. You're going to have to do all of that yourself. And yes, it does suck. I have been suffering physically for a while. But it is worth it. It is very, very worth it. And I think once you get past that, the introduction to this type of lifestyle, you'll be very grateful. Because looking back, I thought that I was, doing good and working hard. But back like a few months ago, me is nowhere as invested as current me. So that's what I plan on doing for 2023 and the years to come. Just investing in myself, creating my own path and just taking the path of most resistance. I think it's very important. And too many people these days live lives of comfortability and unchallenging, and it shows. You can either suffer now or suffer later, and I intend to suffer now. And I hope that I don't get to a certain age to where I can't do things. Maybe I'll die at 55, maybe I'll die at 60. That's fine with me. But yeah, that's what 2022 was for me. Definitely let me know how your 2022 was, and definitely let me know what your expectations are for 2023. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope to see you next week. I think what I'm going to be getting into next week and the weeks after are very important, very interesting as well. So you can definitely take value from that. But that's it. I appreciate everybody who listened. This was a fun idea. This setup took me forever to do, and hopefully you'll maybe find something important out of this, and I don't know, add value to your lives. All I got is, if you didn't learn anything from this, the only thing I want you to learn from this is to invest in yourself 100%, no matter what. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to caress you. So invest in yourself. Keep working hard. Struggle. Suffer. I would even say fail. Fail so many times. Fail 7, get up 8. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for listening. I appreciate it.